How are we doing this morning? Happy Tuesday, folks. Hope everything goes well for you, just chilling. Azrael, thank you for the over 2.5 years. Welcome back. Good morning. Wishy-washy. I'm so excited for this wishy-washy, said no one ever. Finish our dailies. Loaded up the all-in Beedrill deck and the Mewtwo Gardevoir deck from the new deck start up this morning. So I think we're going to start with one of those and go from there. Let's begin with the bees, shall we? I think there's enough red card and Mars in the metagame that I vibe on the professor's research on one. I think it's fine. Alright, Rare Candy wins the game. Well, this is definitely one of the reasons to play this deck. Good night, my sweet prince. One of your sharpest stings, please. Mr. Dumbledave, thank you for the 28 months. Welcome back. All right, now we just gotta do that like 20 more times, and we'll be masters today. Yeah. Hey Jeff, I watched a video recently where you said you wanted to get your PhD down the line potentially, and I know you used to be a professor, so I was wanting to ask, how do you be a professor without a PhD? It's very common for, especially at community colleges and smaller colleges, for the faculty to only have a graduate degree. Some of them will have PhDs, but the hard and fast requirement is only a grad degree. All right, I mean, this is, yeah, I mean, can we have a repeat here? Assuredly, we don't get a second in a row, right? I'll do it again, I swear. He can't keep getting away with it. Oh no, it's the bees. Bzz. Good night, baby. This deck highlight's gonna have like 40 games in it, and it's just gonna be 30 of them with Beedrill winning on turn 2. What are the odds of these two games? Well, you just witnessed it, so clearly the odds are 100%. Alright, we're going second this time, so it might be a little harder for us. If they have a Giovanni, they get to clean our Weedle on the first shot. Got me? Question mark. I guess I'm sad when they draw me into the second Weedle. JK, LOL, JK, LOL. Or do the old swap skipoo. I got Weedles, they're multiplying. And Kakuna's in control, cause the Beedrills, they are stinging. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Are we cooked, gamers? I agree, I'd be cooked. So what's the saying? Easy come, easy go? Kakuna Matata. It's a shame we're missing, Need to hit heads here. We're missing Erica. Unlucky. I do have the Town Elder, though. So they get to take a knockout on this, so that they can take a knockout on this, so that we could still maybe win the game. Maybe. It's gonna take some solid draws. We're gonna need, like, candy into EXP here. Unironically, the very low probability that my opponent's deck is playing Pokemon Center Lady, I think. So I think it might be right. Is it ever right to try and string shot them again here? I could Beedrill and Leaf Cape, so we live the head smash as well. But I feel like there's a possibly compelling let's string shot, hit the coin, and then go from there. Because if we hit heads and buy an extra turn, I think it has value for us. That's so close. Because I need 2 cards to play the game here. I need a Beedrill and I need an EX Beedrill. So I think my best chance to win the game here is hit heads on this. Yeah, and unfortunately when they swap this retreat here, I think I lose on the spot, but I think it's correct. I think I needed one of those two. I think I needed one of those two to hit. I think I'm happy with my decision. Because I'm just never winning this game without the rare candy second Beedrill. So I think I need to maximize my chance to find those. And paralyzing gives us a chance to do that. Watching your videos has made me realize I need more silly phrases and one-liners in my vocabulary. Using every bit of the water buffalo is one of my favorites. Godspeed. It's all about the quips, really. So this is going to be a Pokeball into the Weedle, communication the Weedle back into the deck, and then multiply into it. It's the angle we go for here. Alright, there's a sting like a bee. Just need just need a rare candy. Two candies, 2 research, 12 cards. We also have 2 Kakunas, so ooh, they're going right for the cat, huh? I'm 40% to turn this into a Kakuna, which I think is a worthwhile flip. And I think I cape the back Weedle for now, just in case my opponent has a Sabrina and an X-Speed. A little bit of a string shot here. Just need a rare candy seems to be the mantra this season for me. For all the interesting decks anyways. Obviously the best deck, Dark Ratina, doesn't need a candy. I intend to start with a couple of decks from the new 70% roundup video, but I don't know that we're going to only play those. Lovely. So let's murder the baby owl. The Meowscarada does give us a little bit of a fit here, so we're gonna need a follow-up B for the back. All of the chatting channels in the Discord server I maintain open up if you have a YouTube membership, a Twitch sub, or you support on the Metafy website. I just don't have it in me to moderate a fully public Discord server. Do I swap the bees? Maybe? I don't think so. I think I just let him take the knockout so I can get Town Elder going. Nah, I think I let him take the knockout. Because letting them take the knockout here means that I have a mostly full health bee to finish up with, assuming they don't have a healing tool. But their deck almost assuredly plays a bunch of healing tools, so we'll see. Yeah. Now, the nice thing about this setup is that the crushing spears do mean they have to keep putting energy on here, so they won't have another attacker set up after the fact. I do need to dodge a second form of healing here from them. They have two cards left. They almost assuredly play a combination of 2 Lily and Erica, so they could have us here for sure. Red card and Mars are the most popular they've ever been. People think that they're good against decks playing Rare Candy. I'm really kind of confused by this line. I guess their plan is just Decidueye my active B twice. It's technically good enough, yeah. Is what they're angling for. It's just weird that they retreated. Do I think red card is good against Candy? I think mathematically the stats say the card does nothing a significant amount of the time. It helps your opponent some amount of the time, and the percentage of the time where it's actively disruptive is very low. Well, I mean, I suppose they could have a Red or a Giovanni, but they clicked Razor Leaf instead of Pierce the Pain. They must have missed the fact that this had damage marked on it from its 10-pointer earlier, which could be the make or break difference here. Yeah, they must not have realized I was damaged because it said 190. They could be baiting us with a card that does extra damage here, but now, my out here is very slim. At this point, with their healing, my line is hope to paralyze them enough times that this can finish after. Alternatively, with the Erica draw here, we can hit second Erica next turn if we hit 1 head, so. But we need some coins to break our way at this point, based on our opponent's draw. We are 0% on paralyzed flips so far today. I think it's honestly one of the most interesting and amusing things about the Pokemon Pocket community. It's not just Pocket, but there's a clean example in Pocket is the psychology of a card literally putting a coin on your screen versus it being an effective coin flip but not having a literal coin, impacting people's opinions and the feels around it. Because, like, so many of the same people who are like, Misty is high variance and awful and it's the worst thing about Pokemon Pocket, they just, like, nod and accept and like cards like Red Card and Mars, even though those cards have as much variance or more so than Misty, depending on the situation where you're playing them. And Misty doesn't even have the critical failure case of you improved your opponent's board state. Sometimes it just like doesn't do anything for yours. Whereas like Red Card and Mars, their critical failure state isn't just do nothing, it's improve your opponent's position in the game. But there isn't a literal coin flipping in front of their face, so that feels better because you can talk yourself psychologically into it was always good for you. I also think that's very amusing. I've seen a lot of negativity about the current metagame being all red card, or sorry, being all rare candy. And it's like, actually the Dark Rhytina deck's the best by a wide margin. Still. You know, because of red card and Mars, I'm probably supposed to hold the research here, which that's the impact that it has, right? Is you're supposed to hold things like research. Supposed to wait until you can play the cards with them to play them out. Yeah, so this is, you know, the card is less bad when you're punishing people who are making mistakes. And I made a mistake here. I should not have played my research when I played it. That being said, LOL, what a card. It's very appropriate that we're experiencing this game while I'm talking about how frequently red card and Mars do nothing, or occasionally help your opponent. Because, I mean, in all actuality, they made my hand better, right? I have both my evolutions and an Erica now. This is one of the critical failure states where they legitimately improved my hand with their disruptive card. And it kind of goes back to the crux of it, like, that's always been the leading bad argument for people trying to play red card and defending it they're like, well, Jeff, I took your 5-card hand and I turned it into 3 cards. And Pokemon Pocket is not a game like Magic the Gathering or others where card advantage is a thing that matters. Pokemon Pocket is a game where the right cards is way more important than having more cards. So in Pocket, it doesn't matter that my hand went down to 3 because the 3 cards I had in my hand were a better combination than the other cards that I had before. Am I Erica-ing here? I don't think so. I think I'm going to save this for this Beedrill. We'll crack him with the Sharp Sting here, and then next turn we'll move this to the front of the class. And I think, like I've talked about a lot in the past, it's just a huge psychological aspect, right? Like, whenever you bring it up that, like, it helps your opponent, people say things like, oh, well, I'm really smart, and my red cards are better because I play it better, I read my opponent better, and they can't know when their red card is bad because they can't see what's going on in their opponent's side of the board, so they can talk themselves into this idea that their red cards are always good. Should you evolve because of red card? Yes and no. I really think hiding that I'm gonna be able to kill their Giratina has a lot of value here. I think it induces a potentially different play from my opponent if I show them that I have this Beedrill. And they've already played 1 red card. I know some people are being crazy and playing like as many as 2 copies of that plus 2 copies of Mars, but I think there's a lot of value in concealing my play there. And again, even if they did red card me in a spot like that, like, there's 2 communications and 2 EX Beedrills in my deck. Like, the odds of me having it after they red card me is, like, incredibly high. Getting Mars to 1 hurts, though. Does it? Like, this is a good situation, right? Like, sure, they Mars me to 1 card here, and I'm down 2 cards, but the reason why they're Marsing me to 1 is because my game plan is set up and online. Like, when you're, generally speaking, when Pokemon decks start taking knockouts in Pokemon Pocket, it's because they're set up. So resetting their hand once your opponent is already set up has diminished returns. Like, if you could Mars your opponent to 1 on the first turn of the game, I would agree it would probably be legitimately good, because you would be reducing them to a small enough number of cards quick enough that you were, like, actually putting them behind, and the odds of them redrawing good cards are so low. But just, like, you know, this is where we're actually living here, is this situation. Do you think Pocket should bring rank protection? 100%. I think Pocket needs to do one of two things. I think they either need to have a floor so you can't fall out of Ultra or you can't fall out of Masters, or another alternative would be they should make it so when you hit the rank, you get the rewards. So like when you hit Masters, you get the emblem and the extra hourglasses. So that way if you fall back out of it, it doesn't matter. That's how most other rank games do it. Is you get the rewards for the rank when you achieve that rank, as opposed to whatever your current rank is at the end of the season. Pokemon Pocket's current rank system heavily discourages you from continuing to play the game at various points, and I think that that's a mistake in design. All right, and this is the but Jeff, what about people who reach the top 10,000? Yeah, so you make top 10,000 be the one exception where you measure the rank at the end of the season. I know this is gonna come as a shock to some of you nerds out there, but there being one edge case where the thing you're describing doesn't work, but it works really well and perfectly for everything else, doesn't mean the thing is bad. It means you make an exception for the one edge case where it doesn't work. Yes, Pokemon Unite gives you almost every other ranked game gives you the rewards as you get there. Almost every other ranked game. All right, I'll throw the deck list up on screen. I'm gonna take our first ad break of the morning. If you're someone who's new, I think it's super rude when ads go over the top of gameplay, so I take a quick pause and just chat with folks that are hanging out while the ads go. We'll see you in a couple of minutes to play some more of this Beedrill deck when we get back. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. There's no rank decay in Pokemon Pocket. You do not lose rank points as you are hanging out. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider tapping the like button. If you enjoy my Pocket content, that's the best way for free that you can help it grow a little bit. Doesn't cost you anything, can help make this sustainable for me and my content cycle. Is Arena all at season end? It's been a while since I played Arena. I thought it was as you went, but it's been, hey, I haven't played Arena Rank since Snap dropped. Are you playing that Weedle because it's shiny? No, you're playing this Weedle because multiplying into your second one is very good. You want 2 Pokemon most games with this deck. Mr. One, thank you for the 57 months. Welcome back. Arena has rank floors though, right? I'm confident Arena has rank floors. You can't fall out of Platinum, you can't fall out of Diamond, you can't fall out of... So that's fine. I think giving the rewards at the end of the month is fine if you can't fall out of the floors. The problem is the combination of the two, right? Like you can't... The Pokemon Pocket is the worst of both worlds. It's the end of the season and you can demote from thresholds you've achieved. Do you enjoy Pocket or Snap more? I like them both. They're very different types of games. I like Pokemon Pocket's gameplay because it's very tactical and face up on the board and rewards you for thinking multiple turns ahead. Marvel Snap tends to have, honestly, a little bit more exciting gameplay. There's more over-the-top blowout moments on both sides. Has a little bit more energy behind it. And neither of those is strictly better or worse than the other. They're just kind of different. I think Marvel Snap's gameplay, because of those swings, is way more tilting than Pocket. Absolutely. Marvel Snap has way more blowouts in both directions. A lot more. I'm going to put my phone through this window type moments. pretty lucky. We get to open on Weedle here. We're going second. This'll probably... Oh, I'm in the wrong scene. Scene! Thank you. Alright, we have a Weedle. I have a Beedrill. I really don't want to research into the Weedle, and it's better to wait to research if the opponent has Red Card or Mars, so we'll just go ahead and get Multiply in here. And if we hit a Candy, they're probably cooked if we hit Candy next turn. All right, we get a reroll here, and these red cards are worse when there's researches in our deck. It's like, okay, you put me down some cards, but need a Kakuna or a Candy here. I think we go digging for Kakuna. Nice. We'll put our extra energy on the back one here. And then either Beedrill. Oh, I guess we need specifically Baby Beedrill for Oricorio. Oh, well, I was about to say either Beedrill is good, but we do need specifically the Babby here. Which I guess could be a reason not to communicate, yeah? Since we need specifically that one. Is there a reason to not play out Pokeball? Yeah, I guess there's not, right? They're very unlikely to be an Iono deck. And just getting it out of my hand for future Mars and red cards has value. Yeah, the only reason to hold the Pokeball is if you suspect there's an Iono from the other side, or you have one, and I don't have Iono, and I'd be surprised if they do. Baby Beedrill still takes over the game at any point. That's a big Beedrill. An interesting / amusing thought is big Beedrill is 50% each turn to take is 50% each turn to take their lightning energy away at random. So it's kind of a coin flip, but I guess it doesn't do damage, right? We're technically dealing 10 a turn with the Kakuna. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play this first one out, or this one out. Yeah, I still have a research in my deck. And I assume with the other lightning energy here, they're gonna switch this to the other Oricorio so they can heal this one up on the back. Oh, I have another communication in my deck. Is a reason not to have played this Beedrill out. It's not something I thought about. Alright, cool. I think we found this soon enough that it should be good to go. Just gotta keep playing my energies out here in case they have something crazy like a Rocket Grunt. I promise you that Pokemon Pocket is not rigged, and it's not giving you worse hands as you get closer to Masters. The reason why it feels like you get worse hands as you get closer to Masters is because humans have an evolutionary bias we refer to as negativity bias, where we are trained to remember things that feel bad more vividly than we remember things that were neutral. So the reason why it feels like you get worse hands as you get closer to Masters is because every bad hand that you get as you get closer to Masters, you remember more vividly because it's a more negative experience to experience a bad hand at that point in time. I'm actually likely going to lose this game because I evolved this when I did. If I would have held this for the second Beedrill, I think we would have won this game. We're not 100% dead yet, but we're pretty far behind because of my mistake. Hmm, 25% to dry rare candy next turn. Oh, do they have Cyrus? Then we're cooked. Yep, and this is a game where it's very easy to be frustrated by Oricorio, but we lost this game because I made a mistake. We lost this game because I evolved into the EX Beedrill when I absolutely should not have. I should have won. I should have held it for the Pokemon communication that was in my deck that we could have drawn to. But if I wouldn't have evolved it, we would have been able to have the other baby ready to go. And then the backup one that we eldered would have been into the EX after we dealt with the Oricorios. So you can complain about Oricorio there, or you can reflect and get better. Can I do both? Absolutely. That's another way that you can look at that last game in a way that's very bad and hurts you as a player. Looking back at a game and being like, I could make a change to my deck that's silly to make because it would have won me the game in that spot instead of making less mistakes is really silly and something people do quite frequently. Don't make knee-jerk changes to your deck every time you could have been playing a different piece of technology that would have won you the game. Alright, so there are one Weedle, one Kakuna, one big Beedrill. So this is 40% to kind of win the game on the spot. I'm going to go dig in. We're going to throw the EX Beedrill back here. We get Baby B will be wonderful. Look at that. Look at that. What a lovely Baby B. Good night, you annoying yellow chicken. So their deck very unlikely has Psychic Energy actually in it. So this is 2 more turns away from attacking. So I've got some breathing room to find another Weedle or deal some damage to them. But we do... I am going to need to draw a Pokeball or a Weedle next turn, yeah? So I have one communication that could maybe find it, one Pokeball, one Weedle, 2 research at redraws. So we are 5 out of 12 here. Capes let me live for turn 2, so 7 out of 12. This is not a guarantee. Unlucky. Close game. Pokemon Pocket definitely has the highest variance economy of any digital card game I've ever played. The complete and utter lack of pity or duplicate protection is really obnoxious if you're trying to actually play the game. Oh no. Oh no! Is it our turn to get punished for having a soft start? We'll see here, I suppose. They need the Arceus. I'm really not interested in discussing theoreticals of how I personally would change the Pokemon Pocket economy. I think there's 100 different ways they could improve it. If they wanted to improve it, they would pick one. No Arceus here is obviously great for the home team. Man, do I evolve this or do I... I'm gonna rare candy the active one because otherwise Arceus plus Giovanni could clear us if I evolved the Kakuna. So I think I do this and then I put this Kakuna on the bench one and we go from there. So them missing a beat here is obviously very good for us. Yeah, I could go for the paralyzed, but I think it's just not worth dying to Arceus plus whatnot. This is a little punishing, I suppose, for the sequence I took here. I do just have String Shot, and I have plenty of draws at other Beedrill too, so it's not the worst. I'm gonna Cape rather than Erica. Again, just playing around Arceus plus Geo. And then next turn, if they get to hit us, we'll Erica to stay healthy. So there are 3 Beedrills and 9 cards plus a Kakuna, and the Kakuna guaranteed turns into a Beedrill with the communication here. So we have 4 Beedrills and 9 cards plus a research. So incredibly likely to have an evolution next turn. Or 5 out of 9. That'll do, pig. That'll do. That stinger going. Would really like to draw my other cape, I think is like my best possible here. Shaman's annoying. So if I pivot to Beedrill EX and take a knockout point... don't really have great lines here, huh? They'll hit me, I'll hit them. I don't see any lines that allow me to get through the Arceus, though, is the problem. I think I take the knockout. And I think the plan is Erica this one twice, so that way it can survive an Arceus hit. I'm not playing Sabrina. I don't really have room for a lot of utility cards. We have eight Pokemon in communications to get them more consistently. We don't have 2 stage 2s. We have 8 Pokemon for both evolutions. We're just not gonna beat a Candy Crobat at any point. They're down to 4 cards in their deck, so I think they're guaranteed to have it, right? And Candy Crobat means they kill my baby Beedrill in 1, unfortunately. Pokemon Center Lady as well. They're still dead in 2 to our baby Beedrill, so if both their Crobats or both their Candies are their bottom 2 here, we can still win this game. And they don't have other healing, so that's the condition, right? We need their both their Crobats or both their Candies the bottom 2, and for them to be out of sustain, which is asking for a lot. Very likely dead here, but we'll take a turn and see how it goes. Why do you always bob left and right? I am pedaling on a bike. When you see my shoulders moving, it's because I'm pedaling. This chair with this head behind me is a bike chair. You have 3 small children. The only time I have time to exercise really is while I'm working. Wouldn't be able to fit in 1.5 to 2 hours of cardio a day otherwise. Am I dead yet? You have the Crobat or you don't. Oh, with the cape on the Shaman, this gives them a chance to beat even with their last 2 at the very bottom. Yeah, they got us. Well played from the opponent here. Close game where we came up a little short. Yeah, flex the spot makes my bike and my standing desk. Check out their stuff using my link here. They have a few different options. Save us all some clicks. Wait. What? Are they not? What? What is in their hand? I mean, I guess that answers the question. Do they only have 1 Crobat or 1 Candy? That can't be right. There's only 1 card left in their deck. Are they on one candy and no Golbats? I'm so confused. I'm just, yeah, we'll just like take the win slowly and quietly and walk away. Very quiet. We're hunting Crobat players. Plot, Arbor, engage. We are the anime protagonist. Dark Energy Froakie. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Got 4 bees in my deck, gamers. We're waiting for the bees. Buzz, buzz. Buzz, buzz. There's one of them. Alright, look at our Weedles multiplying. They're just absolutely and mercilessly cooked here without a Darkrai, yeah. They can start putting up 20-pointers, but I assume there's no water energy in their deck. Typically, Dark Ninja is all dark energy. Would you say your deck is B tier? Absolutely. All right, they're dealing 40 per turn. I mean, I think this is enough damage that if they stumble their way into a Darkrai here yet, they could still win this game with the Pokemon Center Lady buying them time. Maybe we could top deck EXB and put them out of their misery. If we top deck EXB and they don't get another turn with this, I think we could probably run them down, but I think with both of these, they can still be in this game despite... Ooh, and this is clever. They're playing around Big B. It's a very heads-up play from our opponent. Communication here means that our 2 copies of Kakuna have a chance to turn into bees, which is great with the rare candy. All right, they have a plan. We'll see how it works out for them, but the plan is here. They have lots of time to stall. They are taking game actions. What is the best counter to Dark Tina? You should check out the meta report yesterday where I explicitly talk about all of the best and most popular decks and what their matchup tables look like. I think I'm vibing on this for now. It's close. You and Con next turn? I actually don't know. So with the Celestial Town Elder in my hand, I feel like 1, ow. 2 though, I think I'm candying into this and then picking this one back up, and we can kind of force them to go. We can go 1-1 to this game essentially with the Town Elder, right? Because we get to put this out and we get to pick this back up, and then we can evolve an EX Beedrill behind. Yeah, I mean, opponents like doing the truffle shuffle here. Opponents navigated this game very well given how things have lined up for them. Oh, and this is actually hilarious. So I get to go communicate the Weedle back into my deck and then Pokeball it back out. And then I think with this hit, we just clear the Greninja here, yeah? The Town Elder coming in clutch here, looking real good. And now I think with this setup, it's too late for them to get Darkrai and still win. Because even if they hit Darkrai this turn, we're going to clear the Greninja, and then the Darkrai's not going to have time to set up to attack. So we should be good to go from here. That's so funny that they ioted us, so we got a better card. Yeah, we're winning this race by a lot. And now the Beedrill takes the energy off the Darkrai, so they don't even get to threaten the knockout on this. They don't get to attack because of the weight of the crushing spear. I mean, I suppose the Tita buys them a turn. I'm chilling on this just in case I need string shots, I think. Am I? No, they're probably a Mars red card enjoyer like most of the world right now. And this is Crushing Spear just getting to take over, right? Like they could shuffle to the Tina, but then like they're out of energy. Leaf here off the top could let them win if I didn't have this Erica. So Leaf would let them move this out and keep the energy on it. But once they give up the energy, we're just like wasting time here. I think Banette is really good. I think there were a couple of Banette decks that posted results in tournaments this past weekend for a reason. I think it's a quite strong and disruptive card. All right, we're going first. We've got the big B with the candy. Is there a level cap for your account? There is. It's 50, and I've been level 50 for almost 5 months. It's incredibly sad they haven't raised it. Cry for help is an aptly named attack based on what's about to happen. It's playable, True Dawn. It's not overbearing, but it's seen some amount of play off and on. They've, if it's been a minute since you've watched Pokemon, they've definitely power crept a bit. They added rare candy from the paper game to the game, and the power levels scaled up very appropriately around it. I'm a small spender and I'm close to hitting level cap. Yeah, I heard a couple of people say that the hardcore grinders that play a lot of games, some of them have already hit 50 free to play, so it's really kind of puzzling they haven't just made the number bigger yet. I think I evolved so they don't get a knockout with Sabrina. My healing's not very good here is the problem, right? Their healing is good because it saves them from an extra attack. My healing only puts me to... I guess an Erica plus a cape would get me out of range of a Pierce the Pain. So with the cape, we could be okay. So this does 80, or it does 100 to something with damage on it. This one's going down. I'm going to keep up the back one just to play around Red Card and Mars. So we're hoping to find Big B and then either Kakuna or Candy here in our next couple of draws. We have Elder to pick this Weedle back up. Has Rare Candy made the meta very Stage 2 centric, or is it fairly balanced? So the best deck in the meta game is not a Stage 2 deck, actually. There's, Rare Candy was kind of a necessary escalation to the fact that they power crept basic Pokemon really hard in the two sets before this one. So there's a range of Stage 2 decks that are like B tier, and then like the best deck by a solid margin is all in on basic Pokemon. Alright, we have an Erica, which buys us an extra turn against the Decidueye thanks to the cape. The Sprigatito on the bench powering up a non-EX attacker is a little scary, perhaps. Although, I guess, too, if they don't have a... I say, if they don't have another piece of healing here, they have to pull this out, but they do. They have the Meowscarada. I thought Solgaleo was the best deck right now. You should really watch the meta report from yesterday and probably last week as well. I'm gonna heal this up so that way it doesn't die to Pierce the Pain next turn. They have a second cape they haven't played yet as well. Yeah. I have 8 cards. I haven't drawn either research yet. Always feel so far behind when that's the case. And there's our Big B, but I only have 1 candy left in the deck. I was really kind of hoping for our other Erica there. Heals for days on both sides. I'd like to record reflect I've played 1 heal and 1 sustain card, and they've played 4, so definitely a little bit of a disparity there. In no small part due to the fact that my opponent had a research and we didn't, so they were, what, 3 cards deeper into their deck than we are? Are you supposed to communication for the Kakuna there? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think you're right. I should communication for the Kakuna. Because worst case, I end up right back with the other Beedrill, right? There's a coin flip to get Kakuna versus the other Beedrill. Yeah, you're right. I should have flipped that coin last turn. All right, might get bailed out. Assuredly, they're out of sustain cards by now. Yes. They could in theory have a second Erica or a second play, I suppose. Although neither of those saved the Decidueye, right? Don't you dare have third healing supporter plus a potion. I was gonna say that's not real life. Our Erica keeps us alive, assuming they don't have a copy of Red. What a slog. No way they have room for Red with 3 pieces of healing, yeah? Yeah, Copium! Copium! Guzma gets us too. Yeah. Red and Guzma both do us in. My opponents always have room for those things when it feels like they shouldn't, and I never do. God, just so brutal. What a greedy pile of cards. Womp womp. Needed them to miss one beat there. Oh my goodness. Don't have your supporter. Don't have your supporter. Don't do it to me. Have a heart. Have a heart. Don't spit on me. There are no drops for Pokemon Pocket. One can only dream. So the supporter for this card attaches 2 energies to it, but ends their turn. So they would have cooked our poor little bug there. And they had it. Can we beat an EX Charizard? I don't know that we can. Am I playing rare candies in addition to stage 1s or instead of? I don't know. Am I playing rare candies in addition to stage 1s or instead of? I'll have to think about it and get back to you. I will say, on a less sarcastic note, I think it's incredibly interesting that the community as a whole had largely, I think, correctly concluded that Stage 2 Pokemon largely weren't consistent enough before Rare Candy, But then after Rare Candy got released, instead of using it as a consistency card, they just used it as a higher variance power level increase by cutting stage 1s from the decks and not playing just playing Rare Candies instead of it. Which lets you get to your stage 2 faster, which is really powerful in a lot of cases, like Beedrill and Charizard. Can you imagine Marsing someone who's very clearly bricking on their stage 2? Like, it's like, plays like this are just mind-boggling to me. Like, I get that I had 5 cards in my hand, but this turn is such a good example of what I talk about when I say, this game's not about having more cards, it's about having the right cards. And the reason why I had 5 cards in my hand is because I was missing all of my stage 2s. That's not even about greed. That play's not greedy. It's just objectively wrong. It's consider the context of what's going on your opponent's side of the board and the cards that they have in their hand and realize, oh, they're missing their thing. That's why they haven't done it yet. Keeping just to get it out of my hand since they're a red card enjoyer. Mars, red card enjoyer. I don't know that we're going to be able to power through this is the problem. They stoke. I hit them for 70. I guess if I draw Town Elder or an EXB, it could come down to whether or not they have enough lilies. I think this deck usually plays 2 lilies. Maybe the build with Turtinator doesn't have room to play 2, though. My capes are gone. Losing my cape here actually matters a lot because it means that my EX Beedrill doesn't get to live through Steam Artillery. I think we're just dead at this point. Is it? It's just hit enough shrink shots to like have a chance, yeah. Yeah, Guzma takes all the tools off the board. Very powerful effect. All right, so the game plan here is hit them with Paralyze while we draw Town Elder into Baby B into EXP. Just flip heads is the game plan. So I can't evolve this turn because I need to hit heads. But that is the start of a draw that allows me to win the game. Okay, and then we're dead, but we had a game plan. That's all you can do, is sometimes you're gonna need variants to break your way, you're gonna need certain coins. Just having a plan is the goal. Alright, I think we're gonna slide along to trying out another deck. So we played this one for almost an hour and a half now. I want to try some other things. If you want that Beedrill, all-in Beedrill deck list that is in the new decks roundup that posted on the Hooglandia Pocket YouTube channel this morning. I think the plan is when we get back, we're gonna try a different deck from there. This Mewtwo pile looked interesting. So Candy, Gardevoir, Mewtwo as the lead lets you go 50 damage into 150 when you have first evolution advantage. And then Tapu Lele, I think, is a pretty reasonable card. And Tapu plus Gardevoir gives you the ability to play into Oricorio with Dark type as well, which is also appealing. So we're gonna take a pause for the cause, let some adverts roll. We'll see you on the flip side with some Mewtwo action. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. In the Oricorio Greninja deck, what would you play in the Mars red card slots? I think most of the deck lists I've been copying, I've been adding a stage 1 to. So like the list in the new decks roundup was not playing a Kirlia. And like I mentioned a minute ago, I think cutting all of your stage 1s and adding rare candy is silly because it doesn't give you consistency. I want them in addition to, like, they're better than the stage 1. But I want them to be in addition to it, right? Clams, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Our mismatch Mewtwo's, which works out a little bit. You can only get one shiny, and I only have one crown rare. All right. Let's see if the bad guy from 6 months ago can be playable. Hey, Mustard, thanks for re-upping. When you resub, sometimes you need to refresh Twitch to send the notification through, FYI. I'm gonna communicate the Tapu Lele, looking for a Ralts or a Mewtwo here. And we hit Kirlia. Yep, Kirlia and Gardevoir were the natural ones there. Tubos, the man, the myth, the legend, the only subscriber that has a tenure as long as my channel's head partner. Thank you for the 116-month resubscription. Welcome back. Alright, I'm gonna throw away 7 rank points to take a look at here. It's the most fun deck for you to play so far. I think the Mimikyu deck, that'll be the highlight on the channel tomorrow. That was in the roundup this morning. I think it's the most fun thing I've played this season. Is this a free-to-play stream? What's with the pleb Tapu Lele? I stopped vomiting money into this game for cosmetics, this pack. And I expect I won't spend money for cosmetics again until they give us Crown Rare Professor's research. It's just too expensive to pay $200 and $400 for cosmetics. It's the most outrageous price I've ever experienced in a card game. Lightning Energy. I think I lead Tapu against Lightning Energy. It's likely to be Oricorio. What would you do if you don't open a single gold Professor's Research? I'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll see how well content is doing for this game and how much I'm enjoying it. We were talking about it a little bit yesterday, but I'm someone who, when I'm making content in a space, I track not only my own metrics, but also the metrics of like the other bigger content creators. And the numbers for Pocket creators fell off really hard and fast compared to other games I've made stuff for in the past. So I'll be curious to see how sustainable it ends up being or not for folks in the longer term. Our inability to draw a route certainly isn't doing us any favors here. I have Greninja on curve, so probably dead. In general, if you want to make a suggestion for a deck, it's silly to come into a stream and phrase your question, wouldn't making this change make the deck better? Because generally speaking, if the content creator thought your suggestion was good, they probably would have made that change to their deck. The kind of blunt, do I think that this change is good? No is the answer, because otherwise I'd be playing that change. Would you go back to Snap? I've been regularly making Marvel Snap content again since the beginning of February or end of February. I only did Only Pocket for like a month and a half or so. Second chicken. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is Marvel Snap worth it for a player or Pocket? I think Marvel Snap is absolutely more free-to-play friendly. In large part due to the fact that the economy is lower variance. It's really hard. It's really hard for me to overstate how brutal Pocket's economy is in no small part due to the fact that it doesn't have any variance guardrails. Like the fact that, and that's not even limited to free to play. That impacts spending players too. Like the fact that I can show up to Pokemon Pocket and spend literally $100 and not guarantee the Pokemon cards I want to play with is like, it's tough. It sucks. I think we're dead here. We needed the Gardevoir a lot sooner to have a shot, I think. Average Pokemon Pocket player taking endless game actions when they have the lethal at hand. Well, yeah, and again, I really want to emphasize, because this is important to understand about Pocket's economy. You didn't hear me say Pocket's economy was bad. You heard me say Pocket's economy is incredibly high variance. So long as you are in the average or above average bounds for pack variance, Pokemon Pocket, even completely free to play, is very reasonable and fine. The issue is, the longer you play the game, every time a new card pack comes out, you have a new opportunity to low roll. And eventually, it's gonna be your turn. There's gonna be a pack where you never open any of the cards you actually want to play with, and you're essentially locked out of playing with the cards you want to play for an entire season until they're tradable. Chrono Loop, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Mewtwo versus Celebi. What year is it? What year is it? Ooh, we have it all. And I want it now. This is the nuts draw, right? We get to rare candy into this, and then we get to attack for 50, and then we start side driving for 150. I think the single most frustrating thing about discussing the Pokemon Pocket economy is how I can go into immense detail and talk about how it's possible to low roll and get unlucky, and then some actually nerd will pop up in chat and be like, but Jeff, I've had fine variance and things are fine for me. And it's like, yes, I literally just got done saying if you have average or below or above average variance, it's very fine. It's not at all problematic. And that just, like, goes to, like, kind of the core problem with, like, people existing in 2025, right? Is just, like, I haven't experienced this bad thing myself, so the bad thing must not be happening because they're just, like, incapable of empathy and statistical understanding. I wonder if I'm supposed to Sabrina there. Maybe? And saving this later probably has value. Tapu Lele interfaces profitably with, how Superior works, right? So they had the healing here, and I don't think I'm Sabrinaing. I think we're just side driving the lead. There's no point in taking a free knockout point and leaving all their energy on this. I want to take my first knockout point on this one that has all the points on it. Oh, look! It's so funny that I can say the words, we should be more capable of empathy, and someone will get mad about politics on the YouTube side. Sorry, we ban fascists and people who are incapable of empathy. A lot of overlap in those groups, on this channel. So feel free to, don't let the door hit you or God split you on the way out. Freaking video gamers. And that goes into the deeper part about all of it, is I could just talk about we should be more empathetic as human beings, and it's like, why are you being so political? Just play with the Pokemon cards, man. It's one of those things that, like, as human beings, we should agree on, and it shouldn't be political, but it is, because gestures vaguely at the world around us. This is a sweet game, speaking of our Pokemon cards. Why on earth is having empathy political? Having empathy is political because if you have a political party that's capable of empathy, you don't have them rounding up people based on their color of their skin and sending them off to prisons or deporting them. Or both. Because people capable of empathy don't do those things. Yes, and I just banned what is one of the most frustrating types of leftists, or centrists perhaps, who is like, but Obama deported people too. And if I really just, if you don't understand the both sidesisms of the current administration rounding up immigrants based on the color of their skin versus literally explicitly expediting white immigration from South Africa, and you don't understand where the key difference is there, I just can't help you. My poor routes have been so buried. We keep having, like, Krillia, Gardevoir, and a bunch of candy, and, like, no basic. Oh my goodness, did they have an X speed too? They don't. I think we're cooked to this Rampardos, yeah. Feels like we're dead from here. Yes. The Obama administration did not suspend due process, and when deportations happened, they deported people back to the country that they came from. Rampardos is so good. But Jeff, apples and oranges are both fruit. They are. I unfortunately cannot stop playing the game to just talk about politics because the colorful monsters on my screen occasionally generate the dopamine I experienced in my childhood, which is one of the only things that gives me the will to continue going in the current landscape. I need the occasional dopamine from the colorful monsters. Just millennial things, yep. Please, colorful monsters, make me feel happy things. Charging up the Tina in the face of Tapu is interesting here for my opponent. Alright, so I'm playing this out. I'm doing this. I think I want second Tapu into a Tina. I'm not going to communication just yet, I don't think. If we draw another non-Gardevoir Pokemon, it makes this more accurate next turn when we're actually looking to evolve. Oh, this is the Tapu Ninja deck. Uncyclist had a lot of solid results in the tournament this past weekend. There's Guardy. She's not doing anything super useful at the moment. I think I'm willing to put an extra energy on my Tapu here. It means their Tapu hits me for 40, but being able to retreat afterwards sounds good. Alright, so like, Pokemon Center Lady means you don't eat it to Mewtwo, but you are eating it to the backup Tapu Lele, yeah? I think they're just cooked and... Oh wait, do they have Cyrus? Don't you dare Cyrus me. Oh no, wait, they healed. Okay. Yeah, they can't Cyrus, they healed. Okay, and then they're cooked in 2 at this point, right? Because I go Tapu finishes this with the energy from Gardevoir. I get second energy on Mewtwo. And then next turn, the Mewtwo with the Gardevoir can side drive whatever they put up. Because I'm going to take 2 points for knocking this out. Gosh, Tapu is so good. I think it's probably Tapu, not Rare Candy, that potentially revives this deck. I agree with that, I mean. I think the Rare Candy just certainly doesn't hurt, but the Tapu giving you another solid angle of attack is very reasonable. You spent your pack points. I've not. So my plan for my pack points is I'm opening... I'm going to open from the new set until I hit 2,500 points, and I'll see if I open any other 2-stars. Then I'm going to pick 2 2-stars to craft from there. And then I'll be done opening this expansion. Alright, so Tapu's not attacking here on 1. Is there anything in particular piece of art you're looking to spend your pack points on? Well, I've really been enjoying the Mimikyu deck, so part of me wants to make terrible choices and spend them on Acerolas. But that's probably wrong. Ace Roll is cool, but the card's not good. I don't know that I agree with that. I actually really enjoyed the Mimikyu deck that we highlighted in the roundup today. I played it a bunch yesterday. Certainly going to play it more later this week once I'm done checking out other things. It's narrow more so than just bad, I think. Ain't a Mewtwo or Gardevoir. I'm gonna go ahead and burn my copy of Red this turn, I think. And then I'm also going to play this other Routes out because I've already played my one copy of Communication, and I want to insulate from Sabrina next turn. Mini set trailer tomorrow. No, the data mines say the mini set is coming out on the 29th, which means we'll get a mini set trailer on the 22nd or 23rd. I think I cracked them for 60 here, yeah? We're gonna die on the backswing, but we'll be 2 points to 2 points then. And I'm gonna deal 50 with the Mewtwo. I've not played with Thickable yet. It's all on my to-do list. We didn't play a ton of Pocket last week because we had a ton of viewers for Snap Drop, so mostly played Snap. Slowed down my expiration stiff. We're gonna be back to doing 2 to 3 hours of Pocket every morning to start though, so we'll play a couple of things every day is the plan. There been any deck lists with Drive off Pidgeot? Not that I've seen. Alright, so we have a couple of draws to find other Guardy and Candy here to be able to blast with this next turn. Tapu's fun, potentially. Cape lets this survive a big Arceus hit plus more. These draws mean I'm 0% to have Gardevoir next turn, which is sad. What's their sequence from here? They can like put Arceus up and then hit Crobat this turn and Crobat me twice. Yeah, if they find Crobat Candy this turn, they get us because I missed my Gardevoir. My bottom 5 cards are Gardevoir, Kirlia, Candy, Pokeball, and one other card, Sabrina, I think. Okay, so Sabrina Crobat Candy kills us, but we're not just dead to Crobat Candy. They can't Sabrina anymore. Yeah, they could hit double Candy, double Crobat to clear us. Is another line technically if they were like sitting on 2 of one and then they drew into 2 of the other. Probably got it here. Cool. You mentioned you don't drink calories as part of your weight loss journey. Do you ever drink diet soda? I'm not a big soda person. What are my... I like flavored 0-calorie stuff. So to shill my, one of my sponsors, Advanced, makes energy drinks, and then I'm not big on energy drinks. They do hydration powder too that has like electrolytes and flavor at 0 calories. And then I also drink a lot of unsweet tea. And then there's a company called Bai that makes flavored water that has a small amount of caffeine similar to a bottle of tea that are very reasonable. All right. I want to keep playing more of this Mewtwo deck because it's been fun and sweet so far. Definitely feels serviceable at a minimum. We can take a brief pause for the cause to let some adverts roll. Appreciate everybody hanging out on Twitch and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We got more Pocket coming up this morning. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, consider tapping the like button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps my content reach some more people. If you enjoy the weekday Pocket streams, you want to help make them continue to be possible, tapping the like button's a free way for you to do that. With the best decks being basic base, could you try Candy Victory Bell to be disruptive? Maybe. I don't know, it still just like dies in 1 to Tina, right? Tapu Lele is arguably the best card from the latest expansion. Yeah, it's very strong. Nah, I opened 0, 1-star Tapus. They'll be at the top of my trade list once the set rotates out. Or hits at the end of the month or whatever. I mean, I'll need 4 of them so I can flare them. Your Wonder Picks have been full. I might have not. But yeah, I haven't checked my Blunder Picks in a minute. I can do that real quick. A lot of QOL this game could use. Agree. I probably read a 2 or 3 page document of just like features other games have that this one desperately needs. I really can't believe that we're 6 months in and we don't have import export for deck lists yet. I think that's the most heinous one that we're missing. Like it's such a basic must-have feature for any digital card game to be able to quickly swap decks around. That's my number one with a bullet. Like, having flares be able to be favorited would be nice, but the fact that I can't, like, put deck codes in my videos is nonsense. Give me a baby. Give me a baby. We've been so bad at drawing. Been so bad at drawing our baby. Babies? Babies! There's a baby. Adorable little baby. I put the cape here so it survives 250 hits. Although I suppose waiting to cape this would have let it survive a Magna Zone shot, which could have been nice. Looking for a Mewtwo at this point. 50% to be what we're looking for. Another Tapu. I guess this communication could be a Mewtwo too still, yeah? You know. Gardevoir only puts Psychic Energy on your active here, so Tapu has to take it. We put our energy for the turn on Gardevoir, so that way we can threaten to deal 60 with it next turn if we want. If they don't have Magneton, they're kind of in trouble here, yeah? So I get to clear the yellow chicken this turn. And then we have Mewtwo to set up. So I can't put energy on Mewtwo this turn because Gardevoir has to charge itself. But you can start charging Mewtwo next turn. Tapu and Gardevoir are giving this deck very organic answers to Oricorio. So we're an EX deck as our finisher, but we don't get we don't have to do anything fancy to not get brick walled by the chicken is really nice. Okay, and then we swap up to this and hit them for 50 this turn and threaten the side drive next turn, and we should be good to go from here, I imagine. You're in the zone, but you're also in the drive. Morning Dex. Charge it up. Blast it off. I suppose if they have a red, they can clear this, but Gardevoir jumps up and finishes them if that's the case. Okay, take your point out of the way out the door. Fair. Well, I like Gardevoir finish things up. You steal this deck list. I work really hard to ensure that I have all the rights to all of the deck lists that I play on stream. So it's pretty hard for me to give permission for other people to just go online and download them. I mean, you wouldn't download a card, chat. Don't download a deck. Net decking is stealing. Imagine net decking. The Solgaleo sleeve looks so good. The colors on it are great. Come on, give me a baby. Give me a baby. We're so bad at drawing baby Gardevoir today. I just need more routes in my life, gamers. I need more routes. Gotcha. Got an angsty teenage Gardevoir instead of a baby Gardevoir. It's no good. It's no good. Mewtwo or Ralts, please. Okay. We take those. We take those. I think I Energy Arrow the Froakie, because this way if they jump up to Greninja, they can't live through 2 Gardevoir hits with a cape. Do you think Passoland can work? I don't know what that card is, so I'm gonna guess probably not. That's the other Ace Roller card. Yeah, that card's probably bad. I think I'm killing the injured Froakie with the energy on it. This is my game plan here. I pick up my first point here. And then if they don't bury next turn, we put 60 into the Giratina. I feel like this red would have been better as Cyrus at multiple points in this set. Speaking of Cyrus. Oh. Interesting. How do they not die to Tapu Lele, though? I have a point, because we took a point on that Greninja earlier, that Pro game. Well, they could just stay asleep and be absolutely cooked. Second Cyrus. Second Cyrus doesn't do it, though, right? Because Second Cyrus, they could only do 120 to this. Even if they woke up, Second Cyrus is only 120. If they have a cape for this, they can live. That's not the action of someone who has a cape. Yeah, Joy doesn't get them out of dead on board. Tapu Lele is so strong. Just single-handedly winning this game. I'll swap the red for a Cyrus. Do you have a deck list? Yeah, you can find this deck list in the new decks roundup. That was the wrong one. In the new decks roundup, that was posted on my channel this morning. It's a weekly series where I go through deck lists that had good results in our community tournaments that look like they could be worth trying. And we end up trying a lot of them out over the course of the week on stream. Okay, the X speed here means that if we find Guardy next turn with the rare candy, we can get the Mewtwo up and start attacking. That being said, the Lightning Water here probably beats the Rodora Choreo deck, so I'm not sure that moving into Mewtwo super aggressively is necessarily good. I would like your finest Tapu Lele, please, deck. Go digging for Mommy Guardy. All right. Everything's coming together. We X speed out before we evolve. I want to put an energy on Routes, so that way I can threaten to attack with Gardevoir next turn. And then Psy Shadow, let's just put an energy on Tapu Lele. I want to put 20 into the chicken here, so that way Guard clears it in one. What's your favorite deck from today? I like this Mewtwo deck. Clear Froakie with Gardevoir. I don't think so. The Froakie's not how they're winning this game. The Giratina is how they're winning this game. So I think I want to set myself up for Cyrus to be good in the Giratina here. Ray Brand, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Yeah, and hitting the Tina forced them into this Oricorio line, and now Gardevoir gets to clear that out, right? All the bits of this deck really work super cleanly together. Yeah, I agree. I think they're cooked from here. With our copy of Cyrus especially, I don't see how they win. We'll go charge yourself, put in energy here, retreat to Tapu. Tapu mark 60 here. I'm probably supposed to play the cape out just for the sake of getting it out of my hand. That leaves them not dead on board if they don't attach energy, but I can Cyrus and I can Mewtwo Side Drive to clean it up next turn, and that's the game. Just instantly rewarded for putting the Cyrus in our deck. Am I a Mewtwo gamer now, chat? Kind of feels like I'm a Mewtwo gamer. Yeah, a reason to use the shiny. Feels good, man. It's a kitty. Meow. This is a matchup where our Tapu Leles are very mediocre. Am I teleporting out? I don't know. I think no. I think no. I'm holding on to the Tapu because I have a Pokemon communication. X speed in hand, I think we should put energy on the Mewtwo. No, I want to put energy on the routes because I wanted to be able to attack with Gardevoir if I drew it. Playing this out might be wrong. I think I'm staying in for one more turn here. Gardevoir lives 2 hits from Meowscarada. Is appealing. None of that is what we're looking for here, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping for another Tapu Lele there as well. Play this other routes out, I think. We'll take them a couple of hits to get through Tapu, so maybe that gives us time to build Mewtwo, especially if we can find Gardevoir here. Have 2 guards and a communication, so 3 cards in 6 hits. Yeah, where's a red card when you need one? All right, 3 out of 5 for our Gardevoir next turn. Do I put the routes up? I could X speed it out. I think I put the routes up in case I needed to take a hit. I guess Kirlia could take a hit. Is this guaranteed? No, there's 1 Tapu in my deck. So 66% here. Yeah, I messed up. I should have put the Curly up. I should have put the Curly up. I could maybe have beaten 2 of these with our really bad luck when they finally find their 3rd basic. I think we're done. Maybe their other candy will be super buried. Oh, they actually don't even need their candy, right? Because I only have 1 cape, and because I've used my cape already, this does 130, and then this does 20. It actually just doesn't matter. Needed this before they got to here. Alright, this is a really good opener for us. On Psychic Energy, hopefully not Arcorio. Tapu Lele, yeah, that's fine. So with the Candy Gardevoir here, we get to hit them for 50 next turn and then start side driving on our second attack. This is quite literally how you draw it up here. Yeah, with no water energy in sight, I don't know how they ever win from here. We are ready to get blasting very thoroughly. Yep, just frog legs for dinner. Yeah, we're getting dangerously close to Masters this morning. I don't remember, Alistair. You'd have to check the replay. Do I want to put a cape on here? I eat it to a Giovanni if I don't, but there's value in saving the cape in order to let Mewtwo live in Arceus plus Crobat. Not getting Geo'd this turn, at least. I just slapped them for 20? Is it a Zoomer culture thing that people online asking questions feel the need to put genuine question before they ask something? Because I feel like that's a relatively recent phenomenon that I didn't used to experience, but it happens all the time now. And I can't logically figure out why you would need to include that quantifier in front of the question you're asking. Yeah, as opposed to like what kind of question? Like a troll question? It just has big no offense but energy in my mind. Where you're like, you don't really need to say no offense but, you just like don't say something that's offensive. But it's an interesting linguistic thing because like there's no like if you want to ask a bad faith question, you can still write genuine question in front of it, right? Why would they energy their Carnivine? I think they energied their Carnivine so that way I don't deal extra damage to their Arceus here. Would be my assumption. And then I think the game plan from here is we get to go ahead and Cyrus plus Side Drive clear this this Arceus next turn. I think people say genuine questions in front of things they think could be dumb questions, so they don't want a snarky response. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm an asshole. But when people write genuine question in front of something, it feels like it's encouraging me to be snarky. It feels less genuine to me to write the words genuine question before something. And maybe that's just because, like I said, it's a relatively new phenomenon. It's not something that like happened all of the time. I feel like it's something that started happening in the last few years. Cyrus just immediately paying dividends as an addition to our deck here. Yeah, this deck seems really clean. It's felt genuinely powerful into most of these opponents. Genuinely powerful, as opposed to artificially. Is it Mewtwo artificial? Oh my gosh, it is artificially powerful. Oh no, I've misspoke. Has X speed done anything? Could we cut it for another Cyrus? If you want something that I feel like should maybe be a bit of a hot take in this current metagame, is I think everybody should be playing more copies of X speed and Leaf. Like, I think part of the reason why Banette is so powerful is because too many people cut all their copies of those cards. They're just like effects that like make your deck more consistent in the early game by fixing bad leads or reshuffling when the situation changes and you need your lead to suddenly be different. It's the type of effect where it's difficult to anecdotally measure the games it's winning for you. I'm gonna keep on a Mewtwo proactively so it lives through a 50 plus 100 hit. Or a Cynthia Garchomp if they're playing Baby Chomp. Not Baby Chomp. Got it. Jeff, if I put in X speed, I can't fit my red card. That's true. So I think I actually put my energy here. And then next turn, I go evolution, Gardevoir energy here, and then my Mewtwo's ready to start blasting the following turn, yeah? I assume they're gonna linear attack the Mewtwo I put the energy on. Oh, interesting. Okay, so they're planning to Cyrus me then. Lily is bad for me. But I don't really have any agents. I don't have agency to play around Lily and Cyrus, so. Make them have their powerful cards. Ooh, second Rampardos, second Rare Candy, Evolution is scary. This is probably a game where we're just dead if they have it all. Okay, maybe they won't have second Cyrus / Sabrina, yeah? Assuredly, they can't have 2 Rare Candy, 2 Evolution lines, and 2 Cyrus, right? Something's got to give, right, Gibbers? Let's go for a drive, huh? Okay, the Kate means they beat us with Lily here as well, yeah? We're playing for a tie. Yeah, I don't have any lines that don't play for a tie. Where's my Guzma? Clearly we should cut the X speed for our Guzma. It's the only possible solution. Oh, I suppose we do win if they don't have Lily. Yeah, we win the breaker here. I have bench Pokemon and they don't. So I win 2 ways and they win 1, so we win the game. So for people that aren't aware how this works, there's 2 ways to win a game of Pokemon Pocket. You could win the game by having 3 points, and you could win the game by your opponent having no bench Pokemon. And when you both meet one of those conditions, in this particular case, we both had 3 points, the second condition gets checked, and then I had bench Pokemon and they didn't, meaning I won the game. If they had any amount of bench Pokemon, we would tie because we both have bench. Having more Pokemon on the bench does not matter, just that you have bench in general. All right, we take a pause for the cause and let some adverts roll. I think we're gonna do a little bit longer Pokemon session this morning. The new Snap card doesn't drop till 2 o'clock, and I'm having fun with this deck. So we're gonna roll some ads. We're gonna play some more Mewtwo after because I'm vibing with this deck. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Hey, I like this deck, but just a word of warning, it loses more than it wins. Sounds like a skill diff to me, gamer. So what's our record with this deck so far this morning? It's something very silly. We're on a 3-win streak right now. I think we hit a 5 or a 6-win streak earlier. Pokemon Pocket, more than, like, I don't think this deck is going to break the game by any means. Like, I'd be shocked if suddenly this deck was everywhere. But it's so funny to me that Pocket, more than any other card game I've ever played, gets so many comments like, I loaded this deck up and I played it for 3 games and I lost 3 games. And obviously my sample size is significant and this deck is terrible based on the games that I played. And it's not even just limited to off-meta decks like this one that people come in and make those types of comments for. Even like top meta decks. Like I remember when the Celebi Executor deck was the #1 deck by such a wide margin. It was nothing else could compete with it at the end of Mythical Island or whatever that was. And there were still people leaving comments who were like, this deck is terrible. I can't win any games with it. It's unplayable. And I'm just like I get it. It has some variance with the coin flips and like you hit a bad run, but just that completely being unable to separate my small anecdote from greater data as a whole says this is fine, right? What's the current meta or better cards to play? Hey, Hugo, you should check out my YouTube channel on Hoaglandia Pocket. I do a weekly meta report video where I round up things that are performing well at the biggest tournaments. And then if you're looking for off-meta stuff like this one, I do a roundup of other things that are spiking individual results that don't have high play rates yet. There's a quote I'm fond of that professional Magic the Gathering players said at one point, and they said, being good at card games is the art of extrapolating meaningful conclusions from statistically insignificant sample sizes. Looks like the link to the Pocket YouTube is broken in that command. No, it works fine. Oh, you can't see my screen. It works fine. Maybe, are you on iOS? I would believe whatever mobile thing you're on doesn't like the @ symbol, but the @ symbol's supposed to be there. Pretty sure it works on Android. Now you're gonna make me check. Your Android doesn't like it? That's weird. I'm pretty sure it works. Oh, that's super funny. The Android mobile app just doesn't even register it as a URL because it has an @ symbol in it. I don't think there's a better way to link to the channel. Funny, it must just be the Twitch mobile app in general. It's just not recognized as a URL. Now, I'm gonna send a bug report on that to my contact at Twitch. Alright, well, this is a solidly aggressive start for us. When should you write off a new deck after losing with it a couple of times? And this is something I've talked about before, but playing random matches on the ladder is not a good way to test a deck. Understanding if a deck is good or not and what its matchups play out like involves having experience playing those particular matchups with that deck lots of times. So just because you like load a deck up and lose with it twice doesn't mean the deck is bad. And the corollary is true too, right? Like just if you load up a deck and you win 2 matches in a row doesn't mean the deck is good either. Like too often I'll ask someone will be like, "Hey, I think this deck is good," and I'll ask them to explain why, and they'll just like tell me they won games with it. And it's like, well, that's not really the question I asked, right? I wanted to know why the deck is good. Could you like articulate what's making it powerful or what it's doing that's consistent or worth consideration? And a lot of times people struggle to do that. It's like, and honestly, you know, we talk about red card and Mars a lot on this channel. That's basically like whenever I ask people like, can you explain the math of why you think this is good? Like how often it's doing something for you? They're just like, nah, people are winning while they're playing it, so it's good. And it's just like, well, I don't think so. It's very big. All the other kids are jumping off the bridge, so it must be optimal for me to jump off the bridge energy. If we could dodge a Cyrus, we could dodge a ball. If they have a Cyrus, this Rampardos is going to eat our breakfast. What deck do you face the most of the ladder? Honestly, the ladder's been pretty diverse. Like, Dark Tina is the best performer in the tournaments by a large margin, but it really isn't that many of my games. I take notes on what decks I play against for the sake of, keeping track for content later, for sending notes to my editor, and we really don't hit Tina very often. They're just not attacking because they don't want to die to the side drive. They're giving themselves another draw at the Cyrus here, which is smart. Yeah, very, very heads up, no attack from the opponent, giving themselves the chance to draw the Cyrus here. Yeah, with the Lily, I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see them just passing in here. And I really don't have any outs to not leave myself dead to Cyrus at any point this game. And just hope they miss on it again next turn and that Mewtwo's able to get into the active and do its thing. If they're out of healing and still haven't hit the Cyrus, we should be good to go from here. I think that's good for me, because it gives me a redraw on my cape, right? I will say, I think I did mess up by not preparing a second Mewtwo. Putting this other Tapu out of my bench, this should have been a second Mewtwo, which would have let me play through Cyrus a little bit. Should have been ideal. Well, if they got the second Rampardos and the first Candy, they've got me. Can't play around that. That's some bullshit right there. I think I lead Tapu against Dark Energy. I want to make my hand as unappealing as possible to red card here. Have you tried Kangaskhan, Crobat, Arceus with Ilima? Yeah, I posted a highlight with that deck like a week ago. It's one of the first things we tried. Was in my climbing decks roundup a few days after things released, the set released as well. Speaking of Arceus, hey Rippers, thanks for the gift sub, appreciate it. When is the tournament? I don't play in or host tournaments for Pocket anymore. Ranked content is more accessible and something that people would rather watch, generally speaking. Is there any data about Gyarados in this meta? No, it's not a deck card that's being played at all. Hasn't spiked any individual results either. Oh, wow. That's really bad for us. Are we cooked? Feels like we're cooked. I'm in trouble because I played the second Mewtwo out. I needed to be able to switch into another one-pointer that wasn't Gardevoir. $30, $20, $100. So I'm dead to a Cyrus, but I think my line to win this game is this. I'm gonna be dead to Cyrus and Sabrina, but I think like they can knock this out this turn, but I need this to not take hits before I put it up, and I need to be able to attack with the next turn. Does that leave me with an out? Now I can draw X speed, yeah? And then they have to have second Cyrus. I need to be better about not playing out the second Mewtwo. X speed, 1 and 6. Dead. X speed would have gotten me out of my mistake potentially there, but not making the mistake would have been better. I needed to be able to move my Mewtwo with full HP up to the front of the class to get a knockout with it right away, so it wouldn't take a hit, so it could live for a turn. My choices meant that that was not an option. I think I like the tempo Sabrina here. Like, force them to either lose the Skull Fossil or have the Carnivore. I guess it's bad against the Candy. Alright, none of our choices mattered. Alright, I think that's enough pocket for me for this morning. I'm gonna tap an ad break and run to the bathroom. We're gonna play some Marvel Snap when we get back. We'll do some more. We'll do some more pocket tomorrow morning to start. You wanna hang out for some superhero card games on the YouTube side? You'll just switch over to the Jeff Oakland channel. We'll catch you on the flip side if you're just here for the Pocket Monsters. BR, BRB.